Sorry, I just had a huge coughing attack right before we went live, so that's probably why my face is all red. Cause, yeah, I just hacked out a lung. Wow, I'm still. It's getting better, but uh, we're gonna have like a 32-degree night here in a few days, and man, that's gonna really suck. But we're equipped for it, so we're gonna be fine. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about today, and kind of like the whole live stream, because I was gonna do one tomorrow, but it's going to be raining all day tomorrow, and it's going to be really hard to get a charge on my phone for various reasons. And so I figured, while I had a charge on the phone, I would do what I would normally do on Saturday. But I'm doing it late enough in the day for those of you that actually get home, are getting home from work. This might be something you get to sit back and watch. And, I've been pondering this for quite some time, because somebody asked a question in the comment section today to kind of talk about what it's like being homeless, as far as like how the public treats you. And I don't want to give away too much of tomorrow's video, because tomorrow, so I've had a couple, hey, what's up, Rugsy? I've had some time to be able to articulate answers to several questions, and some of them cross-pollinate. So I mean, I don't really want to give away too much of tomorrow's video, but it was answering the pet question, because I really don't like bringing Sam up too much in my videos. But the thing is, she's also a major part of my life, and we're still in that get to know you phase. You know what I mean? So I mean, so. What is a Karen? Where do Karens come from? How long have they been around? Is this something new? Is this a new phenomenon? I don't really think it is. You have people that are governed by feelings, and in their feelings, they are self-righteous, self-justified. They don't want to really look at how they created the situation. They want to complain that you don't do the solution, the right solution. So on and so forth. They think that they can kind of govern your life, and there is a lot more of that. And I learned something today that I never really. It kind of helped me connect the dots in a lot of this stuff. So, when most of us were growing up, because I know the age group, you guys are about my age, a little bit older. If you said no to your mom, she'd smack you, right? It was that time of that's back then. That was okay, and your children were disciplined. They understood. They don't talk back to people, because there are consequences with it, and so on and so forth. But as time has gone along, my grandfather, who was a World War II veteran, kept saying, "Oh yes, this is the year of the child," because he grew up when children were to be seen and not heard. Okay, and then all of a sudden, children started getting rights, and probably. Before my son was born, they were talking about, because these children were just kind of getting out of control, okay? And they were getting so far out of control that they were thinking about charging the parents with criminal charges for the actions of their children, because they were getting juvenile penalties for committing adult crimes. And so they were going to go after the parents. So all of a sudden, the parents decided to start to push back by starting to discipline their kids, because they're like, I'm not going to jail because of something my kid did. It had the desired effect, but then all of a sudden, those parents now are being cited for child abuse, and so on and so forth. Now, there is real child abuse, and then there is a lot of this where, because I was told today that if I would have talked back to my mom in a store, she would have smacked me in the mouth, and everybody would have been like, yeah, that's not my business. But in today's society, you do that same thing, you could end up in jail. And so the thing is you have these children that will be completely unruly. Hey Shelly, what's going on? You have these children that are going to grow up without any form of structure and discipline. And structure and discipline is important in a child's life, because it helps govern you as far as who you're going to be as an adult. And if you are brought up, I mean, you can do laissez-faire, but you have to have the money to be able to do laissez-faire. And that's exactly what they're trying to do right now, is laissez-faire education. And now it is something good, but you also are required to have like a mentor with that, and you're supposed to be able to have a trust fund, because the thing is under laissez-faire, there are no consequences. You've got all the money, you're supported, you never have a want or a need or anything else like that. Whatever you want, you get, and that is how you learn in life. Okay, and that's what laissez-faire, what laissez-faire is. Okay, so we have gone from one extreme to children are to be seen and not heard. Okay, um, and to the fact that the children can now you can't even discipline them. And I remember back in 2013 when I had both those houses in McMinnville. There was this kid that was across the street, and his grandma was taking care of him, and the kid started acting out, and so grandma smacked him, and CPS gets involved, and next thing you know, you see her chasing him around that house. But the thing is because he kept, anytime she would discipline him, tell him no, tell him he couldn't have something, he would call CPS, and they would come and discipline her and tell her how she was abusing this child. And she's like, all I'm trying to do is, raise a child that's going to be right and proper. And I mean, I saw this all the way back then, but now imagine that those children are now adults. Okay, and they're in positions of not only power, but in positions that may be in power over you, such as, okay, I need a place to charge my phone because of whatever reason. Okay, and so now I want to go to let's say Burger King because it's real close. Okay, so I go to Burger King. I charge my phone. I have to buy a cup of coffee. So what? I buy the cup of coffee. Okay, but now I have to deal with these people that are like, well, I feel, well, I want, well, da 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 da. And because they were raised to where there were no consequences for their actions, now they're starting to take, their own prejudice, their own chip on their shoulder and everything else out on the individual. And that is essentially how we've gotten today's Karen. Okay, and it's getting to the point to where, again, I don't want to give away too much of tomorrow's video, but one of the things that I really talked about was that it's like when you live out in public, you're walking down the street, and on one side you have people that don't like dogs, and that dog is already a failure. They're going to look for every reason to get rid of you and the dog because they don't want the dog in there. Okay, even though the dog has a legal right. And then you have this other side that the dog can do no wrong. You cannot give it any form of discipline because I am now a dog lover. And so therefore, any discipline you give that dog, it will, I will, use that as a reason to get rid of you or to close your tab and not deal with you. Because Sam jumped up and tried to steal off of. We were at Sunny's. Sam jumped up and tried to jump and bite food off of the server platter that she was carrying, and I pulled her back down real quick so that she didn't get up there, and yet she came over there and reprimanded me for that. And so this is essentially what we have in Karens. And now even before I had Sam, what did I have to deal with as far as Karens go? Before Sam, okay, so in Cincinnati, I had, it was, even though I had a lot of good things going on, anytime like when I wanted to do the street vibes, I would get people that would try and run me off because even though I was doing something legit, I was selling newspapers, they didn't want that in front of their business and so on and so forth. And so they did whatever they could to run you off. And the way that they teach you to deal with it is just to be passive and let them have their way and move on, because these people are gonna start calling the cops and start making public complaints, and then that may cause problems for all the rest of the vendors because this one person decides, well, I just don't like that, and so therefore, we saw it. We saw it with what happened with the jab. It became. I actually lost work because I that was something that I did not want to do, and they're like, well, because you won't, well, we're not going to do business with you. Okay, and again, this is the modern day Karen. The modern day Karen is going to stand up there. They're going to be loud and they're going to do whatever it is to harm you because they think that you need to be able to live your life a certain way. And when you're out here and when you're homeless and when you're in the public, whether you have an animal or not. An animal just attracts more attention because, you've got all these, the ones that like them and the ones that don't. Everybody's being aware of the animals, but they're not really aware of the human. Okay. And so, you're going to attract a lot more attention, and you're going to be able to see Karens a lot more. But also, on the same sense, when you're by yourself, you are going to be kicked down the curb. You're going to have, even within the I've had police officers try and tell me things. I'm like, well, prove it to me. Show me in your code book. I just get out of here. I'm like, no, not unless you can show me. And so they would get in their car and they would run off. And you have these individuals that just are using their positions, or not only their positions, but trying to do whatever it is to impose their viewpoint in the way that they wish they were living their life onto you. Because most of them, if you go look at how they run their life, they're hypocritical. Okay, so another topic that I wanted to talk about today, because I went out and I flew a sign. And here's something that I'm noticing. This is kind of a boots on the ground, is that okay, we know that banks are starting to collapse. We know that we're about to get some serious financial pain. But normally, like, okay, so on Tuesday I went out because Sam and I needed to go downtown on Wednesday. So on Tuesday, I made like $15 in like, I don't know, 30 minutes, right? And that's all I needed. So I got off the corner. I didn't stay very long. But then today I spent probably about 4 or 5 hours just to be able to make $25, so that, because tomorrow's going to be soggy and we're not going to be able to get outside. So we need to make sure that we can cover ourselves for a couple of days. Okay, and so we've got all this going on. I think that because I think the homeless are going to be the first ones that actually get to feel the crunch of what goes on financially, because people, one of their loose expenditures is giving money to the homeless. So if people stop giving money to the homeless because they're getting more and more broke, their things are getting tighter. They're in debt with their credit cards, and now they've maxed out their limits. I mean, we are financially, as a people, we're screwed right now. And so, I mean, as the building crumbles, or as the infrastructure crumbles, those that are at the bottom get to feel it first, because that's where everything lands, is on the bottom. Okay, and I think that, I've been noticing this even in Gainesville. It was really tight at first. Like the first couple of days, I did well. I must have hit a payday, or everybody was in a good mood that day. But for the most part, it seems like the average person, because I mean, people are driving by, laughing, taking pictures, interacting with me, stuff like that, which that's what I do it for. I mean, I was in such a bad mood today. I went and did it for about 3 hours just because I needed to change my mood to something more positive. Okay, so this is just something that that I'm observing out here. And so those of you that are keeping an eye on things, this is something that you might want to consider, being a factor in your finances moving forward. So, I don't know what's going on with you guys, but I know that, that people, you're gonna survive it. At least the financial part of it. It's just gonna be rough. It's gonna be tight. Okay, well, hold on. Let me get to some of these, and I'm going to tell you a story I'm going to tell you an important story about the 2008 crash for me, and kind of because I had a lot of success during that time. But anyways, so I said hi to Rugsy, hi to Shelly, hi Elevator Music, glad to see you. Stay away from other people's drama. Hey, you know what? They bring it to me. So, but anyways, in 2008, when we had the 2008 crash, okay, I was working in a warehouse, and I ended up getting a job doing tech support for HP, and so I went to about $11 an hour, which back then was actually decent money. But it was entry level for tech. But I had to reestablish myself in Oregon because I had originally started in the Bay Area. And a couple of months later, there was an opening, and I got like a $5 an hour pay raise. And while everybody else was losing their jobs and getting pay cuts and all that other stuff, I was getting raises upon raises. I mean, and I was doing well. But the amount of stress that I went through to be able to survive, because my wife wasn't working. I had a newborn baby. I mean, and we were living in a luxury 1-bedroom apartment that ate up almost 2/3 of my income. I mean, we were living hand to mouth when we shouldn't have been, or we could have at least lived a little bit better. I mean, we lived on like $75 every 2 weeks in food, and that was it. Most people were spending like 200. We learned how to live meager during those times because we made some financial mistakes of taking on something more than we could afford, because right after we got the place, she loses her job. Okay, and so we survived it, but right after that, what ended up happening was I ended up having a mental crash, and that is why I ended up in the hospital for suicide. That was really what put me there. Hold on a second. Sam, go lay down. Go lay down. Lay down. Thank you. Go lay down. Sorry, my friend came into camp, and so Sam got excited. So I thought I'd let her sleep on the thing. But anyways, that's just kind of like that. That was my experience. So can you survive what's coming? Will you have the money to be able to do it? If you have the will, if you have the go get 'em, you can survive it. You will succeed. I mean, I got, like I said, I got almost a $5 an hour pay raise. When everybody else was losing their jobs and being 99 weekers and crap like that. Okay, so with that being said, I mean it's going to be tough. It's going to be tight, but you better start cutting the fat now before it gets super tight, because when it gets super tight, you'll already be in the habit for it. Okay, and I mean that's about the best that you can do. So who brought what to him? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, here in Texas, people are putting the homeless in the same category as the illegal invasion. Okay, so here's one thing though. Here's one thing though. Billy Meyer has accused America of becoming the new Nazis, because when we brought the Nazis over, they infiltrated our government and then they started implementing Nazi policies. Okay, so there is some truth in it. Depends upon how what your perspective is and how you want to see it. But at the end of the day, Hitler, put the homeless, the Jews, and the blacks in camps, and because they were useless eaters. Okay, so the fact that to say that this won't happen to the homeless, it will. I mean, look at what's going on. Glenn Beck just did a thing on like the 10 ways Biden is showing that he's a dictator. And so he goes through the 10 things that Biden has done to be a dictator. And now, what is it? They're going after Jill Biden. What? Saying that she was complicit in elder abuse and all this other stuff. I mean, there's some serious stuff going on now. And hey, what's funny? I've been saying this about Kamala Harris, about her being number one on the ticket, and everybody like really they're doing the moves. This was already planned. This was already in the works way back when they redid the filing. But it was so that Kamala could go in there and take Biden's place instead of people, and ride his popularity. But the thing is he's so unpopular that they can't actually ride his popularity into Kamala Harris's first term. So now they're going to have to redo the whole thing. And this is going to be interesting because they're saying, oh yeah, we're going to have a lot of the same players as last time. Another thing, RFK Jr., I think that is, who's running for president, he has started a new party called We the People. You should definitely check him out if you haven't checked him out. I watched the trailer for an ad that he did, and I've been kind of following him a little bit here and there as far as what he has to say, especially the big stuff that he talks about. And I think that if you really want to get out of the worst and to be able to at least live to fight another day, I think somebody like him would be necessary so that we can withdraw from the world. Let Russia and China it's their turn. We are our leaders have made blunders and mistakes in the way that they conducted our foreign policy that has led us to this point where we are no longer perceived as the world power. Because look at Afghanistan, look at all this other stuff that's going on here. Okay, we are no longer the world's power, and we're just going to have to accept it. And instead of accepting it, now they're sending us headlong into a war because, as if their other policy blunders weren't bad enough. Now they just want to they want to they want us all to burn with them as they lose their power and their status, or at least their perceived power and their perceived status. So that's just my thoughts on something like that. So Greece, what are you talking about? Who brought what to him? No. Sam was just was my camp. One of my friends that I camp with here. He came into camp, and Sam just went to go say hi, and so I had to bring her back over here. That's what I was talking about. If that's what you're talking about. But hey, do you guys have any questions? So here's some updated news as far as what I'm going to be doing. Okay, I need to just get to where I'm going and just start my new leaf. This waiting and all this other crap, it's got to. It's got to stop. I can't. I'm not going to wait here another month because I get paid next week from YouTube. I'm not going to wait here another month while I wait for one more payday from YouTube to be able to make it across the. Hey Emily, hi in Oregon. To make it across the. To the west to where I need to be. Now, here's my biggest thing. The Midwest and the direction I'm going is probably going to be extremely dangerous for me. So if you guys notice that something happens to me, like I go dark for more than a week, 10 days, I may be in jail. I may be locked up for some form or reason. I don't know what will happen, but I am, because of what's going on down at the southern border and all of that hardware that's being moved cross country, and the amount of eyes that are going to be on it and all that other stuff. It makes my form of travel, or at least the way I want to travel, to be able to move quickly, is kind of being cut off somehow, okay, because of everything that's going on there. But I've already found a spot where I need to go. We're gonna after this rainstorm's out, because we leave. I get paid on Wednesday. My food stamp card will show up either Wednesday or Friday, and as soon as that comes in, Sam and I will be looking to get out of town. And what I'll end up doing is I'll wait till I get to where I want to be, where I can actually stay there for like a week or two, and from there, what I'll do is I'll order the gear that I need and then go up in. There's no point in carrying it around if I'm not going to need it. I'm not going to use it right away. Especially with the mode of travel that I'm looking at doing, because I'll be able to hit bum feeds, but I'm going to be staying in places for a few days at a time and just keep hopscotching until I get to where I need to go, or at least in a general vicinity of that. So, hey Jeremy, nice to see you, man. So I'm glad to see you're here. So, okay, elevator. Where at in Florida are you from? So stay away from other people's drama. Yeah. Okay, so I said hi to Emily, hi to Jeremy. Okay, so I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing here. I'm frustrated enough with Pensacola. If I get that interview, that's great. If I'm also trying to interview. There is a group here. They're an outreach and stuff like that, and I'm trying to look at working with them for as far as doing an interview. So I mean, that's one thing that I'm hoping to get it, but I may not be able to interview him before I leave. I would like to. I saw him today when I was on the corner. He saw my sign and he laughed. He honked and gave me a thumbs up. Yeah. So I'm just waiting. I sent him a text. I'm waiting on him to give me a date and a time or something like that, because he said he wanted me to do it at the food pantry, because I want to talk about how they're helping the homeless and stuff like that, just like I did with DeCarmine and what I do with others. And hopefully I can get an interview with Miss Councilwoman Patton. But If she's not able to do it, but I'm not gonna stick around for 2, 3 weeks while she's like, oh, well, let me wait for an opening. Give me 30 minutes, give me an hour, and let me ask my questions. I'll be on my way. You're a politician. You get a lot of time off anyways. You're all that other stuff. So I don't know if she can't make time for me in a quick manner. I said, look, we could do it at the end of next week. That way I go in with being paid and everything else like that. I'm not, if she wants to sit down and do it at a coffee shop, we can. Okay, so that's kind of what I got in the works. I know I've got a couple more videos. There's a video coming out tomorrow. I hope you guys like it. I want to talk about one last thing before I start closing this out. As far as the short that I put in there, and kind of some of the issues that I'm having, because this is something that I think that newcomers don't understand it, but those who have been here for a while, you guys probably understand it, because you guys have heard me talk about what it is that happens with me. I get this huge adrenaline rush, and if I get too much going through, then I black out and I become dangerous. Okay, and the weird thing is because I've had so much confrontation and dealing with Sam, it's almost like I've become desensitized to it. But I'm still dealing with some of the other after effects. So, the whole brain chemistry thing. So when I come down from it, yeah, she loves branches, man. Oh, I put up a new video yesterday. If you guys haven't seen the new video, there is over on Sam's channel, I put up a new video of us in Gainesville and her at the beach here in Pensacola. So she did get to see the beach. I want to take her to the beach one more time if I can. So that okay, I'm preparing to be homeless in the next few years, collecting gear as I can. Thank you for your education videos. We need more videos to help the homeless community learn how to survive. Well, Emily, what do you think I'm missing? What questions do you think I need to answer? Because the thing is I've been through this. So many people look at me and go, oh, well, you're fake homeless. I'm like, no, I've been doing this for so long, off and on. It's just like moving into a different place. I'm not going to quit being me and who I am and all this other stuff. Okay, fine. I don't have a house. I don't pay rent. Doesn't make me any different than what I was yesterday or the day before that. It's those that let it change them and define them that's really where the mistake starts. Homelessness is not a definition. It's not even a state of being. It's more like a temporary stage in life. Okay, and the thing is there are lessons to be learned in every part, and if you learn the necessary lessons and you learn them well, you will avoid homelessness in the future. But you've got to learn those lessons, and when you forget those lessons, you end up right back out here. Now, I will say that also in defense of others, because there are those of us that have learned our lessons but still out here. There are circumstances that you just can't overcome. But there still is a lesson to be learned, and that is just the humility to understand that you will never be you will never be above your lowest station in life. Okay, it will never be beneath you. Okay, and sometimes you need to be reminded of that, because we get comfortable. You're in Oregon, go to PCT trail. Actually, yeah, you were okay. I need some tips on how to be safe as a okay, yeah. Okay, I have been trying to get that, and Emily, I will do some due diligence. I will ask some females that I know out here what they do to stay safe. I mean, I know some things, but a lot of it is you're gonna want somebody there that you can trust, that will be your plus one, that you can travel with, because as a woman, you are valuable, and those that are predators that want to take advantage of you and use them for their own gain, when you're by yourself, you're more vulnerable. Okay, that's one thing I will say. So have somebody that you can trust, and know that you can trust them. Be very, very cautious on how you deal with people. Drunks are easy to trust. Okay, they're also gonna have whiskey dicks, so you don't have to worry about that either. So but as a woman, you know, being able to hang around those guys and keep yourself straight, even if you don't do what they do, you know, be their friend, you know, stuff like that. You're a pretty woman. Everybody wants to hang around a pretty woman. Okay. And, you know, those guys, they're going to be nice to you. You just got to worry about the white dopers. I mean, some of them are good, but a good portion of them, they don't have your best interest in mind, no matter how much you would hope that they would. But it's very hard to be able to find somebody that you can trust, especially out here, because everybody, you're in it for yourself in so many ways. Okay, you know, I've been lucky because you know, like attracts alike. So 3 years, it might be wise to learn some from martial arts training. Yeah, martial arts training would be good, like jujitsu or you know, something like that. That would be one thing. So, but anyways, guys, do you guys have any more questions for me? And Emily, I will work on that video for you, okay? Just for you. I've been trying to work on that video for almost 2 years, and I've said some things, like if you go back in some of my older videos, you will probably see them where I talk about, you know, being a woman and how to stay safe. But to really answer your question, I'm gonna have to do a much better video. But I would suggest looking at some of my older content, okay? So does anybody else have any more questions before I go ahead and end this? So this is taking place for tomorrow's live stream. I was going to do it tomorrow, but you know, I needed to be able to have some friends to talk to. I've like I said, the whole brain chemistry thing, just kind of, because I mean, I go into a fit of depression and it makes me want to cry, and I hate it, but it's part of the ups and downs of what I got to deal with. So I do things like, you know, go fly a sign, and you know, a funny sign, so that I can get laughs and all that other stuff, because it makes me feel good, you know, being able to make an impact on somebody else's life, to be able to joke with people, to interact with them and stuff like that. And that's why I like coming here too and having my live streams, because it's like going into Cheers. It's like where everybody knows your name, you know. So for those of you old enough to know that. But anyways, okay. So you guys know how to help the channel. Become a subscriber over on Patreon. Become a subscriber here. Don't forget to share on all of your social media. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, you got my tip jar, of course. And, you know, that will be very much helpful, because right now I have one food line that feeds like 2 times a week that I could still go to, which is the guy that I'm supposed to interview. But if we have a problem there, then that closes off, and I have absolutely no ways for food between now and next Friday, unless I get it from Panhandling, which I actually made out. Oh man, I had somebody. So somebody gave me a chicken sandwich and some fries, and so, you know, whenever I get something to eat, I always share it with Sam, right? Okay, all right, Logan, what do you need to hear more of? Okay, so anyways, so he gives me a chicken sandwich, and I sit there and I share it with Sam, and there's a guy that's in a work van that sees it, and he's like, this guy is gross. Okay. Anyways, Gainesville Walmart is hiring cashier, but I'm not in Gainesville, so I'm in Pensacola. So anyways, so the guy gives me a chicken sandwich, and I share it with Sam. This guy in this work van sees it, and he's like, oh, stay right here. I'll be back in an hour. Comes back in about an hour. Brings me like 10 hamburgers. Like McDonald's, a single hamburgers, plain, so on and so forth. He's like, yeah, I saw you feeding your dog. Here's some more to feed your dog. So her and I sat there and ate those hamburgers. I gave a couple away. I mean, she got a whole hamburger to herself at one point, because I'm like, dude, there's too many. I can't carry all this with me. So, do T-pose, stick out your arms in a T. Why? But anyways, so that's there. So okay. Don't forget to like the video. It makes it more likely to catch that light before it turns red. Okay. Yeah, definitely. So, but anyways, hey, what's up, Outdoors? Nice to see you. Hey, you're probably gonna have to rewind back just to kind of hear everything that was going on. But this is, you guys are getting some updates on what's going on. You guys hear me talk about carriage. You hear me talk about stuff that's going on with the homeless, and kind of how to survive out here as a homeless. But here's the most important thing. You know, if you really, this is the whole reason why I talked about this video. If it's not your business, if it doesn't belong to you, if it's not yours, don't touch it. Leave it alone. And, you know, it's not yours to say anything about. Okay, if it's not yours, leave it. Okay, because that's where you start causing the issues, and that's the problem that I'm having out here. And eventually, when you have the rule of law break down, those people will probably end up being targeted for vigilantism or by vigilantes, because they're just tired of the Karens and the stupid stuff that they have to deal with. Somebody that's constantly trying to impose their point of view and make your life hell. Okay, so keep your nose to yourself. Worry about you. It's all about you. It's not about anybody else. Now, you have friends that you can make friends. You guys can work together. You can have common interests. I do that all the time. Okay, I find people that I have common interests with. I help them out. They help me out. We form friends. We talk. We keep each other safe. We watch each other's gear, because it's a mutually beneficial relationship. And when you find people like that, those are the people that you need to stay around. But you also need to give people enough rope to hang themselves as well. Stick things that go boom in a package and mail it to. What's wrong with you, Logan? I don't know, man. We're gonna have to see about dealing with you. Okay, no problem with that. I always go back to see what I miss. All right, Outdoors. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to leave a comment. Share it. Please share it. And everything else is down in the description. Pick that dirty, rotten, brown substance from your belly button and smell it. I will if you will. All right, so it looks like we've got some trolls in here. I've been doing my job. Woohoo! So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next live stream.